Good afternoon, almost evening. It is Friday, TGIF. It wasn't a bad week. I'm like trying to think, what week is it? Oh, it's the first week of March. Not too much. Yeah, it wasn't a bad week. There was, I think at least a day or a couple of days where I got a lot of work, but it wasn't necessarily on my side. The frustrating thing was, like, the thing we used to log in is like, has given this spinning circle of death. So, okay, my face doesn't look that shiny right now, so I'm not taking anything off. It's moisturized. So, logging in, I have nails. They'll be in a description. I did them today. But, to the logging in system that we use, for some reason, I don't know if it's happening to anybody else, but you get the little circle of death. Not in the morning, but later on, say if you need to clock out for lunch, maybe even clock at the end of the day, to where I have to time it to like at least 20 minutes ahead of time, try to log in so that the circle will eventually get tired by the time I need to clock in or out. Which has been difficult with lunch, because if I do that 20 minutes beforehand, that takes out of my lunch. So that's why I'm like, I've been sending emails to my supervisor all week. I'm like, can you fix my lunchtime? Because when does it finally come up? It finally comes up, the screen that I just need to click check in or check out finally comes up, of course, after I've been back from lunch for like a good 20 minutes. So, yeah, that's very frustrating. I was thinking of the foundation I was going to use, but looking at my skin, what shirt am I wearing? This shirt doesn't go all the way down, so it could be okay. Okay, because I forgot to put my bin out. Because I was liking the way my face was looking, but I was just like, oh, by the way, it's 70 degrees. It will go down in the 60s. It's particularly cool. It was windy yesterday. Like, it was windy a lot. The fact that one of my coworkers was like, I probably got valley fever. Because he went outside during a wind. It's like, don't do that. It's like, you've been in Arizona long enough now. The fact that you knew that tells me don't do that. Eyebrows are a mixture of the Tattoo Brow Gel and the Too Faced. I went over a little bit to make it a little bit darker. Where am I going? So you don't get to end and be like, oh, where is she going? I'm going to Lit in Lemons? Lit in something? Lit in Lemon Drops is where I'm going. So, the bar I like to go to, this happens to be somebody local who is having an event there. So Lit stands for literary, because it's a book club kind of thing, event. But then they also have Lemon Drops. They're doing a charity. I forgot what the charity is. And I'll probably donate next week to the charity. And I'm not getting a lemon drop either, so I'm like, okay. Because you can get a free lemon drop with your, part of that purchase goes towards the charity. So I just wait till next week. Unless they take cash, And then I'll be like, all right, I have cash for it. And so it's basically a bunch of book lovers. No, it's BIPOC. BIPOC. So basically, Black and people of color who are introverted, like to read. It gives them a place to gather, I guess you could say. And so I came across it because of the bar that I go to. I happened to see it on their page. It came across my timeline. So I'm like, okay. I'm somewhat introverted. Yeah, I like to go to a lot of things, but I'm so introverted. Sometimes I'm there, I'm like, I gotta talk to people. So sometimes I say I'm antisocial, but sometimes I'm also somewhat introverted. I do better one-on-one. So, since it's other introverted people, I'm like, okay, this could be cool. Well, and I like to read. So they're like, bring a book if you want. There'll be some reading, some socializing. I have the fan on. The only reason why is because, not because it's 70, but because when I get ready, sometimes if I'm not getting ready in a reasonable time, I get hot. It's not hot flashes, I just get hot because I wait till last minute to do everything else. Like, I'm supposed to get dressed right after lunch. And I did all of this. So, yeah. And then I really didn't get much. My lunch was like ridiculous. What we're using is the Maybelline again, so that's why I was like, this is too dark, my summer color, versus what else I could use. But I'm like, hopefully the concealer might not be light enough. I don't know. I'll see. I'll put this on my lap. So I don't get anything on the skirt. I got a skirt on from Lane Bryant. That I think originally it was $94. Then the final sale was $75. But then there was a percentage off of that. There's no way I was paying $75 for the skirt. And I was like, okay, well, if it's cool enough, like it's going to be when we get out of here, before I have to pack it up for the summer, because it's coming in hot in Phoenix. So I was like, okay, let's wear it because it's going to be cool by the time I'll definitely leave there. It's probably, my apartment's been cool like for the last few days. Like it was getting hot, but then it's been cool. Like last night was cool. And I usually try to block the air during the winter, the draft. For some reason, it doesn't matter what apartment I'm in, there's a draft from the window. So my nose is leaking, not from like any, so I did try it down. Yeah. Not from wigs. I didn't try on wigs, but allergies because of that one yesterday. So that's why I was like, okay. And I just took a, shot, not shot, the nasal spray. That looks bigger than the last one. I don't think that's properly managed to. So, because that looks like that was more just evening it out. So it does dry down fast. So I was like, okay, it does look kind of dark. Now that I see it, I'm like, do I want to still go this route? Or do what I've done in the past where I've wiped part of it. Yeah, because it's like, because yeah, I don't think that concealer is going to manage it out. Let me wipe my hand first. So we're going to take off a layer of this because it's looking dark. Mind you, it's not going to all come off. So some of it will be there. I've learned. I'm not too worried about. And of course, some people are like, oh, I don't think it ever really looks streaky or anything like that, or uneven. So I was like, I'm trying to remember the day to return this, and I think I changed my mind about returning it. I was like, oh, it'll be fine. I can make it work. Well, without concealer, maybe not. Okay. So there you go. There's still some there, even though it looks like I took some off. I can still see that some's there, and it's not as dark. And because this is the bar, I generally go to, it's 10 minutes away, so I can literally wait till last minute if I want to. So, okay. And then we'll still go about my other stuff. Let's, yeah. I want to make sure the, from the makeup remover wipe that it all kind of settled back down. Because you can see, okay, now this, mind you, this is not, I know some still there, I can see that, but but yes, I'm going there. I think it was last time I was at this bar, like when I went to the symphony. I went there after the symphony, so I haven't been back because I was supposed to go to drag bingo that next night, and I didn't because I was just tired. It was a tired, long weekend, so I was just tired. So I know part of my face may feel irritated because of the weight. So I'm trying to dry down. So yeah, and then the trivia this month, unless I go to like when the general trivia is, I doubt I'll be there for trivia. If somebody wanted to go to general trivia. And I shaved my head Wednesday? Yeah, this is Wednesday. So it's still relatively fresh, considering I was gonna wear a wig because I was like, it's way too short to be meeting new people, but it's relatively fine now. You see a little bit of my gray hairs, and I have one that's, well, was sticking up here in the front, but because I put makeup on, it's probably covered it. But yes, I have my shows that I watch. I'm like, okay. It's the ABC episode 2020 that I wanted to watch, but it doesn't start. It starts at 8. This thing ends at 8. And yes, I live 10 minutes away, but probability it still takes me like, again, 10 minutes to get home. So I recorded it, and I'm just gonna, I can easily say start over, but I set to record it as well. That was interesting. You know, I kind of saw who did it or outcome or whatever, but I don't know the story, what led up to that. But yeah, so I was gonna wear a wig because I thought it was gonna be too short. Then I was like, I don't really feel like wearing a wig. It's gonna be my I Should Marry wig. And I realized my newer wigs, I have not named them. So I was like, what is the name of this one? But I have not named it. Because I washed my Beauty Forever wig last night and I was like, this doesn't have a name. And the smell is still there. It's like, doesn't matter how much I wash that thing, that smell is still there. So again, these ladies in these advertisements, like acting like that smell isn't there. But luckily the hair perfume, the Fenty Mist, and I have the other one too, definitely helps. But I was like, that smell is there. People acting like it's not. It is. Okay, I can see it on this side. I can't see it on this side. And then the Women's Worldwide Film Festival is this weekend, starts tonight. I am going tomorrow for a workshop and to support. Otherwise, I probably won't make any of the actual movies. It's not far away, but it's at the Hawkins on Shea. which reminds me of when I used to work in Scottsdale. I had to go that way, and that's why I always know where it is every year. And I go every year, you know, to something at least to support. Because I think, how many years has it been now? I don't know. It's been, they've had it for a few years now. Blend, because I know I look like that dried down right about there. It's one of those times I was like, okay, smaller brush would not have done that, because I was like, did I put this too close to my eye? No, I have to get a Q-tip in a second here anyway. And then, yeah, see these spots right here. Trying to lighten that area, or highlight that area, because it's dry now, like the fan. I keep getting that fan. And that's a hydrating concealer, so it's definitely the fan. So let's go like that. Like, probably wasn't the right time to try anything new or something, a technique I don't use that often. Because maybe while I'm there, somebody may need, ask, what do I do? Small talk, soft sell the business. You know, I'm not good at that. But yeah, they do a lot of events where, you know, together they do yoga, some other stuff. Maybe, you know, they'll come to some of the other events that I go to, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they like to go bowling. I should ask if they like to go bowling. Except nobody to go bowling with. What's going on in April? Oh, yeah, in April we have our work picnic or whatever, but we used to go bowling once, and we used to, was that later in the year? Or was that during the summer? I don't remember. I know one summer work event was at Top Golf. It was August. Was it August? It was August or May. One of those two. I don't remember. But it was a ridiculously hot month to be asking people to go to Top Golf. Did I go? No. Do I regret that? No. Blending the edges. I realized I didn't put any red there. I do not regret that at all. It's like, whose great idea was this? I'm like, y'all, I've lived here long enough. Oh, and I was gonna, for the blush, I was gonna use concealer to blur that out too. We'll see. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, I think April is the latest they put the picnic because it's outside. And I go and make an appearance. I did last year. I was like, okay. I was in pain last year. I think it hurt my back. So I went. I was kind of in pain the whole time. So I was like, I'm not staying long because my back hurts. And the boss. He understood. I'm like, I made an appearance. I'm like, and I have no idea who any of these people are. That's the other thing. I'm like, to this day, I'm thinking, have I seen any of these people? We're using Dancing Queen. We're using Dancing Queen for blush, which I might, thinking about it, seems a little, because the pH in this eyeshadow has settled. This was soft pink. This is not soft pink anymore. So I'm using this brush because this is going to dry down by itself. So I can't see, so I'm going to go like that. But this is what it looks like if you haven't seen it before. And I'm going to pat it off with my hand because I can't tell how much is on there. Oh, I still got a thing in my hand. Okay. See, that's why. Let's at least even it out. I'm tapping some off over here. And kind of blending edges a little bit. Okay. We're not going back in. Just letting you know. So I'm going to take this brush. Actually, let's do concealer brush first for the edges here. And then contour. See, so concealer. And then now I'm going to do foundation brush. Like, yeah, I'm going right over it because again, it's very. But it's tamed down. Like in person, it's definitely tamed down. And it looks a little bit right there as well. Okay. I think, what am I doing next week? Okay. I have a funeral to go to next week, so I might decide if I'm going to record my makeup for that or not. Or just post a photo. Mostly because it's like, yeah. Yeah, and there's a, so I'm gonna ASU damage that, like the other things I've gone to, ASU damage, free community tickets, but I'm like, this one didn't really interest me, and I was like, I know what goes into going, and this one just, I want to say, didn't interest me enough to want to. Yeah, I was just like, yeah, no. I've been to, I think, 2 other things, but I just didn't. I just don't feel like, again, the things that I know physically will require me to get there and everything. And I was like, okay. Daylight savings time is coming this weekend. This sun, at least in Arizona, has been up past 6 for like at least more than a week. So that's nothing new for us. But it's, you see, it's still out right now. Because the other day I was sitting on the couch and I'm like, it was after 6. If I had taken my nap, it was like, well, 6:15 something. And I'm like, the sun wasn't where it should have been at 6:15. So I'm like, that's when I definitely knew it's coming. Kind of transition color for the eyeshadow. That's what I was doing. Since the light pink is the transition color, but still, again, this was not this dark. I'm about to get to the eyes and you'll see the color pink I used for it to now be this dark. So, Juvia's Place, that's eyeshadow. The color I used was this one. This is transition I use this one, outer, the sparkle. So, but it's, they need, this might, I don't know if it's patchy, if it's me, or maybe because it's too old, but it went on very patchy. So you can see kind of like spots right there. It went on patchy, and I'm like, what is it the eye primer? Or I'm like, or is it the eyeshadow? But yeah, continued on. So I'm gonna take this one, I might not even add to it, and just go under. Yeah, I didn't even need to add to it because this was enough. Hence why a little goes a long way. Take whatever's left on this and just go. Okay, let's set the rest of my face, which I shouldn't really have to do much because this foundation dries very fast, hence why my hand was, yeah. So I'm gonna be very light with that because it's so dries down so fast. Somebody was showing the L'Oreal, I forgot if the formulation is L, but here comes the trouble with nails. Me trying to open this. So this is why I keep this nearby. So I'm just gonna, hopefully that's enough. Because I should have used a smaller thing, but I have this. But this will come in handy tomorrow if it's too big for today. So I'm just spinning it in there because, see how small that is? So it's all right there. And then I'm gonna swirl it on my hand. Just move it all around, because like I said, I don't really need that much, so. Because it's like, it's already set. And this is just meshing everything. She's doing a video on powder. One of the influencers that I follow, I'm like, can you try this foundation? She bought it, but I'm like, when are you doing it? And I figured it was on Friday because she's been doing this foundation Friday, and I'm like, yeah. And so I'm probably gonna get a sample this weekend when I don't have makeup on. Yeah, so that should be good. My neighbors over wonder what the fuck that is. I was like, is it out? Because it's not a lot left. So I was like, ooh. And I'm trying not to buy any more setting sprays until I've used up all the ones I have. Because I have a little bit of Urban Decay All Nighter, the original before they departed ways with Scandinavia. So I have a little bit of that left. Plus I have a matte mini travel size version of that, again, before they got rid of Scandinavia. I have the Carpe one. I have 2 of those. Plus I have the Fenty one, which is relatively full because I've been trying to, yeah. And then I have this much of this. So I'm like, I am trying not to buy any more. Because I say this because Anastasia, her Beverly Hills setting spray is currently, the full size, which is usually $36, is currently $18 during the 21 Days of Beauty Ulta sale. And I'm like, and is good. I've tried it in store where I was like setting my whatever look I was wanting, and I was like, this looks nice. So that's why I'm like, I don't need to, I need to use the ones I have. And I know that one's good versus, you there's so many out there, and I'm just like, I'm not really wanting to try all those, but I know that one is good. And I think Charlotte Tilbury came out with I'm like, why do I have this? Came out with a matte version as well. I was never very impressed with Charlotte, this setting spray. Some people says it works for them, other people says it does not. Okay, we are using the Maybelline Superstay lip crayon. It's probably just crayon, and I just said lip. How do I usually? Okay. Again, nails is operating a whole different way. So I'm gonna be using this as my lip brush. It's actually an eyeshadow brush shader. We're using it as a lip brush. The reason why is because I'm not covering my whole lips, I'm just covering part of it. And so I wanted to use it too. And that helps with that. And what's harder to do with the nails, me trying to go like that, or using a Q-tip. However, Tinted Cosmetics currently has 20% off of everything on this site. Use my link, that does help me. It's in the description. Otherwise, the code, I will put the code up here, and it ends on March 12th at 11:59 p.m. I think it's Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, I'll put the code again. And then if they let you add another code for, say they use for shipping or whatever, then you can use my code. That's also in the description. Okay, so new to me, Powder Kiss. This is the MAC Powder Kiss Lip and Cheek Mousse in the shade More the Merrier. So I don't know if it's going to focus. The second I move away, that's when it decides to focus. So that's what I was like. Mind you, I've been trying this out. So this is not a first impression. I've been trying out lip combos. I can't open this with these nails. But I wanted y'all to see the box and everything. When Ulta had that 20% off prestige and everything kind of thing, this is what I got. I went to I drove to Ulta in northern Phoenix, is like maybe 20 minutes away, because my Ultas don't have matte products, and they only had the shade that I really wanted. I think Burning Love, and then the one, they were sold out of that. And two, so I was like, okay, let me look around to make sure they're definitely sold out, which they actually said it was in stock, even on the app, but sometimes it's not true. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just not true. Mind you, I saw it when I checked out. They had the little Mac stand, like some of these up there, and that's what it was. But by then I already bought this and used my 20%. I could have did the exchange right then and there. Basically, it would have been kind of this color. But instead, I got this. I swatched this. I'm like, okay, this will help me with my lip combos. That's why I got it. Long story short. So it looks like that. Okay, it looks a little darker than it has been before. So I'm like, okay. But it's a softer pink. If y'all know the Merrier, I'm going to have to wash my hands. The Merrier, luckily my skirt is not white, but it has white in it. So I'm just trying to get as much as I can off my hand. But I've been trying lip combos with this. So the other one, like when there's a max sale, no, I'm going to get that other one and try it on the cheeks. I'm not doing that with this right now. You do see a little bit of the leftover. I could use the back of that for this. Let's see how much is. Okay, this is pretty much dry. So you can use that Maybelline Color Stay, Super Stay, Maybelline Super Stay, as a liner, or crayon as a liner as well, which I've seen people don't really do that a lot. Usually, and I use it for full, but I'm not doing it today. So pretty much pink thing. You see, I can leave it like this, or I can put the gloss on. This is Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Gloss. So I'm gonna push this in, the setting spray, and while I'm doing that, I will decide if I'm going to. The talking is taking this longer than it should be. This video should be. And decide. I definitely have to wash my hand. The pinkness is still there. You probably can't see it. Decide if I'm gonna add gloss or not. So this wig shop that's in, I'm gonna say Chandler, they're doing a braid bar during March. I keep getting these texts. I don't have any hair. I can opt out, but then the other texts I won't get from them. So if there's like a good sale or whatever, and I know I could just stay. I do follow their accounts on social media, but I'm just like, I don't have any hair. It's like, where were y'all when I had hair and I needed a braider? Mind you, I had a good braider. She could do my hair, my thick hair, and like, say she got here like at 6:30. She's usually done by 11:30 at the latest, and even dipped the tips and curled them for me, and it only cost $80. And she came to me. A few times I went to her house on the west side, but otherwise the other times, even during COVID, she came to me. And like, she wore a couple of masks. She kept getting tested, and so I didn't have to wear a mask in my own house. And that's how good she was. And now I'm like, I don't use her because I have no hair. And I don't have the patience to grow it out long enough so she can grab something to do it. And I did pass on, I believe my mother's best friend uses her. I don't know if she still does, but I know she did at one point. So at least somebody else is, using her. Okay, it's pushed in. Did I decide? No. Yeah. Okay. I'm not flipping it because I know it's already stained. Okay, and so I'm going to wipe this off, even though this is going to be my topper gloss. I still don't want to put that back in there. That much red on it. I did try to combo with brown lip liner. I'm sorry, but sometimes the brown lip liner, you just need to use a red sometimes, or a shade of red. Okay, so I got most of it off. It's not coming off anymore, so it should be fine. I had gotten this in Ipsy a while ago. It hadn't been open, so finally, okay, use it as a topper. That's not too much gloss. Like my other glosses would have added a whole lot more. And I've been using the Buxom as the gloss that I've been using as a topper. Doing my experimentation, and because we know that is plumping, so I've had plumped lips. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to use that tonight. I did not mention I've had a bout of vertigo today. We're using the Stila Stay All Night eyeliner. So earlier I did take again the nasal spray, supposed to help with that vertigo. So I'm like, okay. So I may or may not have any alcoholic beverages if I'm still feeling. I haven't used this in a while. I used one of these in a while, but whatever sale, y'all know I get these on sales. I see my corner of my eye is wet, so that's when I stop. It's a little stronger right there versus over there. Like the line, not the gloss with the gloss too, but it's not helping. I didn't want it to transfer it, even though this dries pretty fast, because when I stopped to get the button, when I stopped to get the Q-tip, it was dry already. And I remember is me getting it even still with this particular. I like this, but I'm not always good at getting them even. We're going with Legacy Lash, Live Tinted, Live Tinted, female owner. Basically, most of these brands are female except for Maybelline. MAC, I don't think is. Yeah, Maybelline and MAC are pretty much the only ones that are not female oriented. So, I say I did a pretty good job. I was trying not to get it to transfer up, that's why. That was in case y'all forgot it's Women's Month. March is Women's Month. And then I guess today is National or International Women's Day. It's either today or tomorrow. I'll check and confirm yes or no. Let's put the earrings on and wrap this up. And I already decided I was going to go with these particular ones. My Juicy Couture. I do have pink ones, but yeah. Ooh, I could pick it up even with these nails. See, it's subtler than we know it initially was. You can see it, but it's not as crazy as it was. Which is why I don't ever try not to top them. Unless I have a plain or regular everyday eyeshadow look. And then the blush will be bold. Okay. Okay, let me change my shirt. Ow, I'll close the thing on my finger. And then I'll show the outfit. So I'm taking that purse because I can fit the Kindle is in there right now. So why is this heavy? I can fit my Kindle in there. That's why I decided to go. Am I going to stay with these earrings? Kind of simple. Earrings are small. Well, let me look. Yeah, they're fine. I'm like, very, yeah, pink. Did I ever wipe my teeth? Because the gloss makes you have to wipe your teeth. Okay. So, with that, I am off to meet some new people. To Lit and Luma Drops at the bar I like to go to. Y'all have a good weekend.